Good afternoon, good people. David from the Modeller's Friend here with, I think this will be my 5th video. Hopefully I'm getting better as I go along, and apologies for the previous camera work, that's the word I was looking for, on my last video, i.e. the update on the King Tiger, not King Tiger, Tiger 1, the Hobbyboss Tiger 1. What I'm trying to do now is stick to within the confines of my cutting mat. That's what I've set the camera to, so that's what I've got to stay. As long as I'm in these, I should be all right. And very quickly, talking of the Hobbyboss Tiger 1, here it is. Obviously, I've not put things on it like the shovel or the axe or whatever, because I paint those later and then put them on afterwards. You see about a precision model. Look at the plain nut turret. Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. As I said, it is what it is. It's built now. I've got to damage it a little bit, and I'll come on to that later. And then, of course, prime it and then paint it. And I've got the tracks to build yet. I need to be in a certain state of mind to build them. But anyway, I've persevered with it. As I said before, it's not a bad introduction to this scale in modelling. But with hindsight, I'd recommend saving up and buying the Andy's Hobbies Tiger 1. Apart from being a slightly more challenging build, it will be a more enjoyable one because you won't have to clean as much flash or as much crap off the mouldings of this, and it should glue together without needing a gallon and a half, and you won't have lines like this. And anyway, it's there it is. I thought I'd just show it you. That can stay over there. This is an unboxing for Andy's Hobbies. I've looked on YouTube, but I've seen several videos about this Greyhound, but I've not found an unboxing one yet. So here it is. And I know I've set the Modeller's Friend up to cover many aspects of modelling, i.e. plastic or scale modelling, model railways, yada, and so on and so forth. But as I said before, I don't want to keep going on about it. Due to my operation, I can't get out to do anything else yet. And due to moving house only a couple of months ago, I've not set my spray booth up, so I can't do any spraying videos just yet. So all I can do is unboxing or halfway through build videos, such as I did with the Tiger 1, which I'll hopefully do with this one as well. But what I like about this box, and I'm sure many of you that have bought this kit have noticed, in the background on this one, there's a Puma. And if you buy the Puma in the background, there's a Greyhound, which I think is quite a nice little twist on box art. And talking of Pumas, I have actually built one, and this is one of my previous builds. I thought I'd share one of my completed models with you. Again, I will figure out how to do camera work at some point. I'm watching plenty of YouTube videos myself. But I hope you approve of my efforts on this reconnaissance Puma done out as Africa core. With sand, etc. What I've tried to do, and again I'll cover some more videos on how I've damaged the side, not got the doors to shut quite properly because they've probably driven into something either very quickly in reverse to get the hell out of there. Same as this. And this was done from a reference photo of one I found online. So I copied it, and the same again with this door here that is dented and damaged so it won't shut. Rusted exhaust silencers. Again, sand, debris and dust on the wheels. I said this one doesn't have an interior. It didn't come with an interior, so I can't build one. But I always leave my turrets loose because where I need to store my models are in boxes. So you can see it's a bit dusty. And the boxes aren't always deep enough to keep the models in. Case in point, I've lost the star off the end of the antenna and a couple of the corner markers for the driver. They've gone. I like to think they were a very accurate sniper that got them. That's a story I'm telling anyway. But yeah, that's my Puma build. So again, I hope you like and approve of that. So I shall put that to one side and get back to the Greyhound. Alright, before I open the box, show you around it. As I said before, I like Andy's Hobbies boxes because they're a lot smaller than a lot of the other manufacturers in this scale, which means they're easier to get in the house and not be noticed. What have you bought this time? Nothing. I don't believe you. Yeah, come in here and show me. No, not another bloody kit. Yeah. But anyway, that's another thing. Oh, one thing I will share with you. I was looking at these camouflage options. I just happened to glance at the German version. And I thought, what the hell is a cat doing on there? You got to admit, at first glance, that does look like a cat, doesn't it? But then I realised, no, you moron, it's the light and the cage that protects it. So it's not a cat. Duh. It's the light. Obviously, German camouflage is a lot more interesting, a lot more intricate, and a lot of the times a lot more difficult to do, especially if you do night fighter camouflage on some of their aircraft. Allied armour, just slap olive green, 10 gallons of olive green. There you go, done. Saying that, they are a damn sight easier to paint. But before you paint it, you've got to build it. Before you build it, you've got to open the box. So here we go. That's the lid. Right, what we got? What we got? Again, staying in the confines of the cutting mat, David. Stay there. We obviously got the top of the hull. Now, unusually for this scale, that's quite small. Again, I'll just bring the Tiger 1 back in. I did this with the Sherman and the King Tiger, I think. But I know they're completely different vehicles and built for completely different roles, but a little bit smaller. But anyway, that's the top of the hull, and I believe you've got the floor pan in there to be cracking on with. So that's what comes there. Go into these bags. Tell me, people, comment, like and share and all the rest of that. Would you like me to pre-open these bags? Because a lot of these are from my own stash, which means they've sat in my store for quite a while, and I only pick them out when I want to build them. So granted, I'm not quite on the nail with dates in terms of when they were released, but I'm enjoying doing these, and hopefully you're enjoying them too. So like I said, please like, share and comment. But I'd like to know if you'd like me to take them out of the plastic, so I can comment a little bit deeper and have a quick glance over them before I do actually open the box. But I'm looking at these turret mantlets and etc., and they're looking pretty good. Not a huge amount of flash, but they do, well, if any flash actually, you're looking at those. I know it's a new mould, new tooling, so that's probably why. But I'm looking at the detail. It's nice and crisp on some of the hinges. And it all seems pretty damn good on there to me. Right, so that's that one. And we've got the back of the turret here, with the turret ring and more rings, etc. to go in there. So that is what it says it is. What we got? Oh, smaller bits. We got the machine gun. Which looks nicely done. Now, usually with some of these, especially that Hobbyboss one, the machine gun looked bloody awful. It didn't even have a hollow barrel, and you couldn't see the ventilation holes down here. But here you can. So again, that's nicely done. Or at least the barrel is a one-piece mould, so that'll make things a lot neater and easier when they're done. And all the other bits look quite nice. Again, hardly any flash. Oh, you got the crew, or the single member of the crew. I've got the single member of the crew for the Puma sat there, still smoking his cigarette. But I haven't got round to painting them yet. I'm not a huge figure fan. I usually end up giving them to one of my friends at the model club. But at some point I will build some figures, because I do think they add a certain something to the models. But until I'm happy finishing them off, I'll build him, but I won't paint him. So, going through here again, I'm trying to get these videos a little bit shorter this time. These are obviously the body size, that's the rear of the vehicle. Again, nice detail in the radio. Well, that would probably be the radio. I could be wrong, but that's probably the radio going on in there. So I don't believe this kit has got much of an interior. I think it's got some for where you look, because you can apparently you can build the early or the late version of one of these. So whether that includes a cover for the turret, I don't know. I haven't gone into that much detail. I bought this and I bought the Puma at the same time. The reason I've delayed building this is because I wasn't sure. But I'm going to build it now. So again, lots of little things, lots of little pieces. I can't say what they're for because I don't know, but I know there's a lot of handles going on there. Again, another sprue. This looks like the gun stock, the gun mount. So again, I'm guessing here, so obviously if I'm getting it wrong, please do correct me. Side of the main gun. Yeah, same again. And other control, and probably turret hatches or access hatch covers. That's definitely an ammunition box, and so forth. So again, that's what. Yeah. Any guesses? Definitely the wheels. They're not weighted. That's the one thing I wasn't really over keen on the Puma one either. They weren't weighted. They're not weighted tyres. I like the fact with some of the aircraft I can build, you can always definitely buy 3D resin printed weighted wheels, which are far better value in terms of the detail and the overall effect than these. So I will be looking out to see if anybody does produce a 3D resin printed set of wheels with weighted tyres, because let's be fair, it's in the war, nobody ever ran them with perfectly correct tyre pressures on every single wheel all the time. I doubt it very much. So they are going to have to be either covered in mud or something to hide the fact that they are perfectly round. Again, more body panels. So without looking at the instructions, this is pure guesswork. It really is pure guesswork. So there we go. Again, no idea what I'm looking at here. It looks like they're drive shafts. I can tell them because I used to replace them on my old car. So yeah, we've got drive shafts. We've probably got some more interior bits here, but I'm not seeing an awful lot of interiors. Here we go. I know what these are. These are the suspension and the running gear. So we've got the wheel hubs, the leaf springs. Oh, we've got a seat. Well, that's pretty good. That points towards the interior. And we've got the shock absorbers. And we've got two sets of those, so I'm guessing one for each side on them, which will be nice. Again, nicely detailed. Even down to the bolts, etc. on the shock absorbers. You can see the individual screw heads, which are nice. Bolts, not screw heads. They're not some bolts, not screws. Apologies. And again, looks like more seats, an instrument cluster. Definitely a shovel. I know what I'm looking at there. And a pickaxe handle, gun barrel cleaner, axe, steering wheel. Slightly important piece of equipment there. Again, nicely printed. Especially that shovel. You've got the join where they're from the pressed steel on both the handle and the shovel head itself. Rather than just printed and left, you do have the join from the manufacturer. And again, this looks like the big machine gun, the 50 cal that would go on the roof if you were to choose that option. So you've got the big gun, then you've got the 30 cal, then you've got the 50 cal. Yeah, gun mantlets, gun, big boom boom. There we go. Oh, hang on. And these look like the sides of the vehicle. So sheer process of elimination, or is it my sheer brilliance that helps me point out exactly or believe what I'm looking at when I unbox it? Now, in all truth, I was getting a bit worried because I wasn't seeing a bright white instruction booklet, because this was blending somewhat into the bottom of the box. So with somewhat a sigh of relief, I note the instructions, a little bit of brass wire, some clear bits for the lights, some decals for your various versions. And again, I mentioned in my Hobbyboss video when I unravelled this length of copper cable that why can't people just cut a length and shove it in a bag and keep it straight? Because that is going to be a damn sight easier to work with than the bundled mess that came out of the Hobbyboss kit. In fact, you can't use it. I threw it away. It looked wrong. So that, thank you Andy's Hobbies, that is going to be so much easier to use and look more realistic than a manipulated, butchered coil of wire that you got from the Hobbyboss. Right, here we go with the instructions. Always nice and clear with Andy's Hobbies. As I said, I built the Puma. I've built one of their German half tracks. I forget the PZKP MFFF G7431 Sudafix. I just call it the German half track. Again, sue me if I'm wrong. But nice, very nice clear instructions. So I thank once again the time and I'm sure the expense taken to get these bang on. But when you do build them properly, they do look good. They are a very nice kit to build. So I'm flicking through there. So pretty clear instructions as you go. As I said, they've got a very basic interior, but I'm guessing the vehicles themselves had a pretty basic interior. They were reconnaissance, so they only needed really a driver, a commander and a gunner. Or were they probably only 2 crew members? I don't know, I'll have to research that. Sorry, I'm erming again, aren't I? I shouldn't do that. Again, here we go. You put the lid on. That's obviously the engine compartment, but there isn't an engine. So you can't include an engine or keep the covers open, which is no great loss. I know some modelers like that. I particularly don't. I build the interiors if they have an interior, but I don't bother painting them. I think I've said that in every single video, so apologies if that's getting a bit weary. But I do at least go to the effort of colouring the interior if you can see it, which obviously I think is a must. So the interior of this turret will get painted in the correct scheme, etc, 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 as will anything you could see inside, unless you can put a lid on it. But looking at this, I don't think you can. So no, it looks like an open lid all the way through. Oh, and you've got a scheme for painting the interior and the guns and the figure and anything else you may wish to paint. As I said before, it's just 10 gallons of olive green. There you go. A little bit of grey just to lighten it up a bit. But no, you can't shut the roof on this. It does have to be open. So it will get painted. So again, this is going to be my next build. I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully it will redeem itself against the awfulness that was the Tiger one. But that's it. As I said, I'm trying to shorten these videos. I hope I have. I've had no idea how long I run, but I think I've hit half an hour for the last, at least 3 of them. So I'm going to shut up now. Once again, please like, comment or share on my videos. It is hugely appreciated. I didn't really care for it when somebody would ask me all the time, but now I have started doing some videos. I've started liking a lot more because I getting to appreciate the effort that goes into making them. Not saying there's a huge amount of effort when all I do is open a box, talk and then stop. But hopefully as my viewing figures grow, my videos will grow. As I get healthier, I'll be out more and building model railways and etc. in both 00 and O gauge, which are the 2 scales that I'm modelling myself. But I'm not talking about model railways today, I'm talking about this. So again, David from the Modeller's Friend, please do like, share and comment, because I do answer all the comments. I've had about 7 so far, so it's not really taking too much of my time up. But that's it. So once again, thank you. That is the end, I do promise. So enjoy your build, whatever's next, whether it be armour, an aircraft, motor vehicles, boats, yachts, hovercraft, whatever floats your boat. David from the Modeller's Friend, signing out.